you're bearing gifts of sweet tea today, that'd be nice too. Yeah, 97 today, heat index of 103 already. It feels like it's 85. Actual temperature is 80. Strap in, folks. It's going to be a hot one for sure. And one of the things that's going on right now is the temperature you probably feel every time you look at gasoline prices and think about the price at the grocery store, because fuel affects everything that we buy. It really does. So is there something that can be done? Well, we've heard from the president saying that there's little he can do to lower energy prices in the short term. But what about the long term? What about the long game? What can be done? Well, we're turning to an energy expert to find out a little bit more. Checking in with the great state of Louisiana, Scott Angelle is with us this morning. And put aside the comment there off the air about the LSU Tigers and Georgia. So we'll just let that rest for the minute, sir.
Yeah, you can't fault the Tiger for trying to hunt a bulldog down this early in the summer. Looking forward to the fall football season, the SEC, and all the great things that are coming our fall way. But we got to get through a hot summer, and we got to get through hot energy prices, no doubt. And Bill, look, what I would say is, what I would want your listeners to know is that this shouldn't be an unexpected issue that we're facing. This country has had 6 recessions from 1973 to 2019, and each and every one of those recessions were preceded by a spike in energy prices, as goes America's access to affordable, not cheap, but affordable energy. So goes our economic performance. It's not debatable. We sell more cars in America when we have flat energy prices. We sell more homes. We build more homes. We have more disposable income to travel and retail and do all the things. So the pain at the pump, yeah, people are really, really feeling it. Is the number one issue in America right now. Inflation is, and it's been driven primarily by high energy prices. And it's really unfortunate that the president would say that there's nothing can be done because, as the founder of USA Energy Workers, what I fundamentally believe is that we need to unleash the inspiration and perspiration and dedication of our USA Energy Workers all across every state in terms of wind and solar and oil and gas. No doubt, let's unleash all of that and let it go to work. It's really unfortunate that this is a self-inflicted wound that the American public is having to endure. And it's not only price at the gas pump, it's at the natural gas meter, and the state of Georgia is going to feel it. For, one of the things that your listeners need to know, about 50%, exactly 49% of Georgia's electricity net generation comes from natural gas. Natural gas is trading at really, really high numbers right now. And that's, again, unfortunate because it's a supply and demand issue. And we have this incredible supply of natural gas in the Gulf of Mexico in particular. And a couple of things I think that will really, really, I think, depress you, maybe impress you to know it, but depress you to really let it sink in. On March the 25th, the president made it very clear to our friends in Europe who get 40% of their natural gas from Russia. The president made it very clear on March the 25th that we were going to increase liquefied natural gas exports to European friends. Very, 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 very appropriate public policy to help our friends who are going through a tough time. That was on March the 25th. 26 days later, on April the 21st, John Kerry, who is the climate envoy for the president, said we're going to give natural gas only a 10-year life. So here the president was saying we're going to increase, and 26 days later, his climate envoy is saying, no, we only going to give you a 10-year life. Well, the president is asking companies to make $1 billion of investments to be able to increase and help our friends in Europe. In the meantime, John Kerry is saying, no, we only going to do it for 10 years. And then 12 days later after that, the president cancels the lease sale for the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico he canceled 3 lease sales on May the 12th. The Gulf of Mexico is loaded with natural gas. We have the opportunity to unleash workers right here in America, USA Energy Workers in America. And when we kind of look at what has happened over the last year. Last summer and last fall, the president was asking OPEC to increase production while he was telling American producers that we don't want you anymore.
Yeah,
And
that's such a disconnect to me. I mean, because on one hand he's fighting fossil fuels, but on the other hand he's embracing it from other countries. I mean, we can produce what we need, can we not? Or at least a majority of it we were.
absolutely we can. And that's what's so sad is that because, you know, when you take a look at the climate issues, the facts are very clear, Bill, that the production from the Gulf of Mexico in particular, when you take a look at the Haynesville Shale, the Permian Basin, these areas produce climate advantage production for this country. In fact, the Gulf of Mexico has the lowest carbon intensity production in America and the second lowest on the planet. It has the lowest venting and flaring of methane. The two drivers that the experts tell us cause climate change are carbon dioxide and methane. And the Gulf of Mexico scores A+ on both of those categories when you compare them to other producing basins. As long as we got to have it, we might as well get it in the most climate advantaged area we can. And that, of course, is places, again, like the Gulf of Mexico, the Haynesville Shale, the Permian Basin. And it's just ridiculous that we would go to Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, other places. That's not a solution, Bill. Would we call that here? That's an insult. Yeah. It's an insult to the USA energy worker. And what I would ask your listeners to do is visit usaenergyworkers.com, our website, and see the dedication of what we want to do for America. We believe if we can be unleashed and the chain can be released and the attitude can be changed, we believe that we can lower the pain at the gas pump in a relatively short period of time. And, you know, people say, well, how long is it going to take? All I would say is this much. The sooner we get a course correction from Washington, D.C., the sooner we can provide relief at the pump.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the things I find rather hypocritical is the fact that there's all this, as you mentioned, wanting to shut down production here because it's bad for the environment, but yet we're willing to let other countries to do it. And we're still buying the product, but we want them to do it and dirty their environment, but not ours.
Well,
it just seems hypocritical to me. It's the same process.
Right. But let me take the hypocritical one step further. When it comes to climate change and the molecules that are released into the atmosphere, we have one atmosphere, right? It is global warming, not USA warming, okay? So not having the jobs here and not reducing the pain at the pump here, but getting the jobs over there still has no positive impact on the environment, because the molecules are the molecules and the atmosphere is the atmosphere, and it's global warming, not USA warming. So it's really, it's almost, we wonder if there's some nefarious action at play here that is designed to destroy the USA energy worker, because for generations, the USA energy worker has put on those steel-toe boots, put on that hard hat, kissed their families goodbye, and set out to do the hard work to fuel our great country. And when we take a look at where we've come from since World War II, one of the great things that has made this country what it is access to consistent, affordable energy, both from our energy security, our economic security, and our national security. And we just think it's crazy. And the issue that has been highlighted here by Russia, yeah, it's kind of put it under a microscope. But those of us who follow this every day were seeing what was happening. I mean, prices were on the rise big time, big time. And the president was calling for OPEC to help out way before, 5 months before Russia invaded Ukraine. So we've got some serious energy problems that are showing up and creating pain at the pump. And the USA energy workers are saying and crying, the USA energy workers are crying out to Washington and crying out to the consumer to say, we're ready to help. We can help. Unleash us. Send a message to the market that you want us. You know, one of the things that I found was absolutely incredible, Bill, and I'll get this link to you so you can share it with your viewers. In November of last year, the person who was nominated by the White House to be the comptroller of the currency. Now, the comptroller of the currency resides in the Treasury Department and is responsible for running the most sophisticated banking system on the planet. And the nominee was quoted as saying, and again, it'll be all available for you on video and everything, as one of the things that we needed to do was bankrupt oil and gas and coal companies. That was in November of 2021. So now that person ultimately didn't get nominated, and that person ultimately withdrew her own nomination, not because of the backlash of those comments, but because of some other issues. And it's really, really unfortunate when you really understand that the person who's responsible for running the banking system wants oil and gas companies to go bankrupt, and then 180 days later, the Secretary of Energy is saying, no, we need these guys. And then now John Kerry is saying, no, we only want to give the natural gas folks a 10-year life. This is the left and the right hand. As far as energy policy goes on, I think what we're thinking is that the White House is looking at USA Energy Workers like a booty call. It's like, we need y'all right now. We're gonna press the emergency 911, and y'all come help us. But as soon as we get to this crisis done, as soon as we get this in the rearview mirror, we're coming after y'all again. And it's just we are part of the fabric of America. We can help. We need to be unleashed. And the pain at the pump right now, it's important your listeners understand, this is a self-inflicted wound that American policy has placed. We like to say we went from saying, oh, no, when this president became and took his oath of office, he signed a variety of orders that basically can be summarized as saying, oh, no, to the American. And we went from, oh, no, to OPEC to oh, shoot. Now, this is a family. This is a family.
I appreciate
show.
you cleaning that up, but I know what you're thinking. Yeah. The clock has got us here. Unfortunately, Scott, this is great discussion, great information, and as like my family used to say, if you can make it at home, you don't need to buy it somewhere else, and we can certainly make our own energy. That's for sure. Scott, how do we keep up with you and find out more about what we've talked about today?
Visit USAEnergyWorkers.com, and you'll get to see some of the things that we're doing. I'm going to email to you after the show the articles that I referenced so that you can post it up on your site so your folks will know that we're just not pulling things out of the thin air, but sourcing information. And again, unfortunately, when the president said that he was going to cancel these lease sales, one of the things that he's failing to recognize is that in the last year of the Obama-Biden administration, the Department of Interior issued a report that said not having a lease sale would cause more greenhouse gas emissions because we'd have to get oil from foreign sources to replace that we wouldn't have here. But that's not a report that came from some right-wing group. That came from the Obama-Biden administration. And yet 5 years later, when he gets his hands on the steering wheel, he does exactly what his people in that administration told him not to do. So again, we think there's something at play here that's nefarious, and at the end of the day, is crippling the American family. It's making a devastating impact on people who are living on the margins of poverty, senior citizens who are living on a fixed income, single moms who are going across town to pick up their kids at daycare, paying this incredible historic prices of gasoline is unfortunate. USA Energy Workers are ready to do their thing. Unleash us. Let us go. We're part of the solution. We're not part of the problem.
Scott Angelle, thanks for being with us this morning. My friend, hope to talk to you soon. Keep fighting the fight.
Thank you so much. Keep it up. Go Tigers.
Yeah, go Dogs. 26 after 8.